first, breaking news about a new battlefront being opened up by Donald Trump in his war against the left, and a dirty little secret about American elections. Now, have a look at your screen here and tell me, what is going on here? Have you ever seen such peculiar shape? And what do we have here? I mean, that some of these things, they could be anything, like a pterodactyl or something. You know, you look at all of these shapes and you'd think you were looking at some sort of old Rorschach test. But no, those shapes I showed you before, they're not Rorschachs. Instead, those bizarre, wild shapes, except for that last one, are all U.S. congressional districts, drawn by states using arcane rules and processes that allow them to use race and politics to create these wild, twisted, elongated congressional seats through a process known as gerrymandering that the Trump administration says is used to favor Democrats and give the left an unfair advantage come election time. Well, Trump's identified the problem, and now there is a push on to fix this. Multiple states, including Texas and Florida, are now at various stages of pushing plans to redraw their districts, redistrict their states that they say would rebalance the equation away from Democrats back towards the middle, and in doing so, eliminate all of those weirdly shaped monstrosities I showed you before. This is important because seats are determined by the census, and Trump wants to hold a new census, a new national head count to do this project, and have this head count not include illegal aliens who, and here's the dirty little secret, and this is why the Biden administration opened the borders, well, these illegal aliens are counted for the purpose of determining how many congressional seats a state gets. So, more illegal aliens in California, more congressional seats for California. You see how this works. This is important also because the number of seats a state has, the number of congresspeople, determines the number of electoral votes they get in the Electoral College at the presidential election. In other words, this helps determine the presidency. So now you see why this is such an important issue, even if it's a little obscure. And the thing is, Democrats, when they're honest about it, well, they also know the whole system is a little bit ridiculous. Stephen Colbert, who's now working out his leave on his talk show, asked Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker about this on the program the other night.
Take a look at this. Look at 17 here. It does that. Then it comes up here and it sneaks around there and goes all the way up here and then goes right over there like that. And look at this one, kind of goes whoop up there. It's like the stinger on a scorpion down here. Is this common for all states to do?
Well, we handed it over to a kindergarten class and let them decide.
Okay, and that's the nonpartisan group that does this for you guys?
That's our independent commission, you know.
Well, you can see how ridiculous it is, but now Donald Trump is trying to upend the whole system, which could not only fix the problem of all those crazy district maps, but also see more congressional seats apportioned to states like Texas and Florida. Here's the president speaking with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
The Biden census gypped Florida of at least one seat. We only got one seat in the last census. Are you trying to tell me that Florida only had one seat in that? We should have had at least two. Texas should have had another one. That could be the difference in the House of Representatives and the majority. So I would love for them to redo the census for 26. My legislature will redistrict those lines. We'll get it to where it's fair. But as it's right now, this country is not fairly apportioned.
I think it's going to do very well. A lot of people, I don't know if you've heard about it, it's captivated the country.
Now, Trump has ordered the Department of Commerce, which runs such things, to conduct a new census, something that is traditionally done, according to the Constitution, every 10 years. Well, not surprisingly, the left is losing its mind. Democrat Texas legislators have gone so far as to flee their state to prevent their own House from even being able to debate a move to redistrict the state. NBC went so far as to say that the Constitution, i.e. the Founding Fathers, believed that illegal migrants needed to be counted, and that was their intent in the Constitution. Well, I don't know. I kind of feel like had you told Washington and Jefferson and Adams that a later president was going to let half of South America walk into the country and be put up in hotels by the government, they might have had a slightly different reaction here. And in fact, the biggest complaint that the left can get up here is that this census would simply be out of cycle. Here's a bit more of Governor Pritzker.
Every 10 years we do a census in this country, and right after the census we redraw districts in every state. But what the Republicans are trying to do, and the Texas Republicans, frankly at the behest of Donald Trump, are doing it mid-decade. That is extraordinarily rare.
Well, I'm sorry, Governor, because just because Donald Trump says something doesn't mean that he doesn't have a point here. And the governor himself even made the point that some of these districts did look pretty ridiculous. I think Donald Trump is right on this issue, and this is the next natural step to the platform on which he ran. You know, first, fix the border. Tick, that's done. Second, deport illegal migrants. Well, tick, half tick, that is underway. And then the third thing that has to happen, of course, is to undo the imbalance that the illegal population had created in the country's electoral system. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller laid out the number of seats the move could wind up swinging. Have a look at this.
Democrats rigged the 2020 census by including illegal aliens. Remember, they sued Donald Trump. They sued the administration. They fought tooth and nail to include illegal aliens in the census. 20 to 30 of House Democrat seats wouldn't exist but for illegal aliens.
20 to 30 seats, which also means 20 to 30 electoral votes. You see why the Democrats are so mad now? It all makes sense.